Hello, this is Mahmoud and welcome to XParticles Sound and Close tutorial. In this tutorial, we will talk about xpSound, xpSoundDisplacement and also XpDynamics Tag. You can sync animation to the sound easily using XParticles, xpSound modifier and xpSoundDisplacement modifier with the help of XpDynamics Tags. Imagine you are assembling a chess team. xpSound and xpSoundDisplacement are our powerful rocks here, and XpDynamics Tags is our reliable pawn. In XParticle XpSystem, in control modifier, here you can find XpSound, and also in motion modifiers you can find XpSoundDisplacement, and in extension in Cydium tag you can find XpDynamics Tag. To have more control on our sound or music, we will need another modifiers. In this tutorial we will use XpInfection modifier with the help of XpActions and also XpVertexmap. XpInfection, XpActions and also XpVertexmap are another reliable pawn. To make our simulation more accurate, in Attributes Ctrl D and here XParticle Dynamics we have subframe steps and iterations. The default number here is 1 and we can add to it to make our simulations more accurate. If you want to explore more about xpSound and xpSoundDisplacement, there are in video description additional links. Here I have talked about XpDynamics Tag, here xpSound and XpDynamics Tag, and in this video xpSound and xpSoundDisplacement. For this project I have used Redshift for rendering with the help of ACEScg color space, adding bloom and also RS incandescent material. If you want to know more about ACEScg color space and also bloom and RS incandescent material, you can watch the previous tutorial. Here I have talked more in depth about ACEScg color space and also Redshift incandescent material with the help of After Effects to compose it. You can find direct links in the video descriptions. In this tutorial we will use Redshift AOV light and we will export the light as a separate layer, and then we can import the separate light layers in After Effects and help us for our compositing. Now it's time to find our cinematic sound effects. For this tutorial I have just searched cinematic SFX, and you can also use this word to search, or you can find the sound effects that I've used for this tutorial and for this intro project in the description. Just register, download and use the free sound effects. Here for this tutorial I have created final music from 2 layers. The layer 1 is just our sound effects, and here we have 9 sound effects with a duration of 5, 6, 4 to maximum 10 seconds. Then we just import 5 to 10 seconds for each inside the Snow 4D, and we have a lot of control for the music. But we have the second layer, and here is our music, which is supportive ambient music layer, and it's 55 seconds, and we have nothing to do with this in Snow 4D. We'll only focus on our sound effects here, and one by one we will import in Snow 4D to create our simulation. Here in Adobe Premiere you can easily see that how sound effects are organized, and we have each layer separately, and also we have the ambient layer of supportive music as a separate layer. Now it's time to play. Please don't forget the castling. To have a better understanding of why we are using XpDynamics Tags instead of XpCloth, I have created here a simple plane with the width 1000 and the height 400 and the segments 40 and 20. And here just let's create in XParticle Dynamics XpCloth and create a close here. And now if we play here, we see that we have gravity. We just remove it, we don't need any gravity. Let's call all of this system with the Alt-G or cloth, and let's make a copy from the plane. Only hold Alt and drag it, delete XpCloth, and we call this XpDynamics Tag. And here we just right click, extension, and we will add our XpDynamics Tag here. And now we have 2 planes, one is close and one is XpDynamics Tag. I also make this Alt-G a group and call it XpDynamics Tag. Let's add here a motion modifier, and just we will add here in modifier XP turbulence. Play again and you see our XpCloth is already reacting and our XpDynamic tag is just straight. If we select our XpDynamic tag here and our tag, we have the rigidity. The default number is 100. Let's make it 0. And now if we play, you see that our plane with XpDynamic tag is losing all of its structure. For this, we just need here constraint and add structure constraint here. And now the plane with XpDynamic tag keeping its structure. Here we can see the advantage that we have here by using the XpDynamic tag is the rigidity. We can manipulate it from the 0 to 100. For example, we can add here 1%, and in our tutorial, if you want to use our sound displacement modifier, here adding a little bit rigidity will help you to keep the shape. And another advantage that we have when we are using XpDynamic tag here is distribution. Here, if we select our XpDynamic tag here, emitter, we can click and add our emitter here. Let's drag it here. And if we play again here, we can see that particles created on the surface of our plane. Now, if we select our XpDynamic tag here, distribution, we can also select the different parameters. For example, instead of only vertices, we can select vertex plus mid. Or we can select on the surface. Another advantage that XpDynamic tags compared to XpClothFX has for this tutorial is that we have less parameters to play with and more control. And here we have more parameter to play and less control. For XpDynamic tag, our focus only need to be rigidity and also the distribution. To understand better the difference and the similarity between Vertexmap and XpInfectionFX, I've created this simple synonym for the file. You can see the similarities, both of them have the growing system for selecting. For example, here selecting the vertex and surface, you can from the top to the bottom, you can define and map the sound here. And in XpInfectionFX, we have the same growing and selecting from top to the bottom. This is the similarity, but the difference, which is important for us, is that Vertexmap is mapping the vertex and the surface, but XpInfectionFX is mapping and selecting the particles. And particles are more important for us because in XP system, particles are reacting to XpSound or xpSoundDisplacement, and the position and the motion of the particles is creating our closed simulation. I have created here a disk, and here you can select and create a disk from here with the inner radius 0, outer 500, this segment and rotation segment 100 and 100. Now we just need to xparticle and create the XP system. Just drag this here in utility to be organized. And now we need to add our extension insidium tag, XpDynamic tag. And here in tag and constraint, we have our most important parameters. In tag rigidity, we just make it for now 1, and constraint we activate the structure constraint. Here in XP emitter, we have already created in default an emitter. We just delete it, we don't need it. And here, if we select our XP tag, here emitter, we just need to add our emitter here. Let's rename it and call it close. If we select our emitter here and display, editor display, we just change it to sphere. And now let's play again. We can see better the surface and the particles. If we select our XpDynamic tag and here radius is the default number 5, let's change it to 3. And if you play again, you see that particles are smaller. And now we need to add our xpSoundDisplacement and also XpInfectionFX. In modifier, we just select our control modifiers, and here we add XpInfectionFX. And here we add a new seed object. And the size you can change it, and the default number is 10. Let's make it, for example, 100. And if we select our XpInfectionFX, here we have search radius and mux infected. Let's play. And you see already is infecting other particles, but it's a little bit slow. Let's make the search radius, for example, 15, and the maximum infected, for example, 10. And now let's play again. It's a little bit faster. And you can, with this number, art directed. the speed of infection. Let's make it, for example, 25 here. And now a little bit is faster. Let's say we are happy with this speed of the infection. Now in XpInfectio, we have the port that it is action, and we need to add an action here. And the action that we wanted to happen is our sound displacement. So we just select actions here, and in the control modifier action, just click here, and we have sound displacement modifier action. Just click on it. And if we select it, we just need to add our sound displacement modifier. We just click add modifier. And here we have our sound displacement modifier created. And now we have here XpInfectio, and it needed to add an action here. We will just drag our sound displacement modifier here. And now we are ready, but if we play, nothing still is happening, because the last step here in xpSoundDisplacement, it need just to add a sound here. Here in sound file, you can click and upload your sound effects. Here I have uploaded the sound effects. Let's play sound during animation, we don't need it, and also the loop we don't need. If you want to control the sound here and using this to on and off the sound in timeline, we will use here in the effectors, sound effectors. Let's drag it here in modifier. The sound effectors has nothing to do with or close and particles. We just wanted to listen the music and have control to on and off in timeline. So here we will also upload the exact sound that we have here selected for xpSoundDisplacement. Here we select, and here we load the exact sound effect. I have uploaded also here the sound effect number 3, so we have both sound effects exactly the number 3. If you see that all of the structure start with while and getting out of control, now we need our Control D. And to make it more precise, if you select Control D, XParticles Dynamics, and now we need to add 2 subframe steps and also iteration. Let's make this, for example, 4 and keep iteration 4. To see better in preview, I have reduced these segments from 100 to 60 and 60, and also we will keep subframe steps 4 and iteration 4. You see, it's more accurate, and also the shape is not getting out of control. We just added the subframe step to the 4 and also iteration number to 4. If we play here, we see that our close is changing the original position. To keep it where it is, we can add just a collider. For this, we just select here a torus object and just add to the ring radius. Let's make it almost the same. And add to the segment. Let's make 100 segment here, and this we make it 490. Pipe radius, just add to it. Let's make it, for example, 60, and the segment also like 50. Let's drag it here to our utility and we call it our collider. And we just did right click here and extension and CDM tag, we add our XP collider here. And we just select here the normals any and connect on collision activated. And now let's play again, and this time should stay the object and hold it in the middle. We can also hide the collider here, just hold the Alt and double click. And now let's play again, and you can see that our close is reacting and the collider is holding it at the center. And now we can art direct it, and we have more control by selecting xpSoundDisplacement and playing with the scale down and also the sensitivity. Based on your music, you should experiment with the sensitivity and also the scale down. There is not fixed number here that I can say that would work perfect. For example, for this sound effect, let's try the sensitivity to 1.5 and also scale down. With the scale down, we can control the height of our close reaction to the music. For example, if we play here and see that how high this close is reacting, let's say here we have a scale down 500 and the close moving to this level, and here is 500. But let's say your client say we wanted that the close move to the higher, to the top and here. And if you want the close move to this level, so we will add here instead of 500, a lower number, let's say 50. The scale down working in opposite way. The higher the number, the lower will move the surface, and the lower the number, the higher will move the surface. Now we can even add more modifiers. Just select here modifier, and here in motion modifier we can select the XP push apart, and here in distance mode we select or use particle radius, and this will help that particles a little bit keeping distance and do not overlap with each other, and maybe will give the more realistic look to our clothes. Or you can deactivate the XP push apart, and here in dynamic just here XP constraint, and if you select here XP constraint here on connection, you can connect at birth. You can experiment with the XP constraint and also XP push apart and see which one is working and giving the better simulation based on your sound and your music. Now we can add the second collider here at the center. Just here we just select a sphere, and the radius, let's make it 80, and just drag it here at utility. For the first collider that we have here, let's activate it. We just select our collider tag here and alt and drag it on our sphere. The middle of our clothes will also be attached and will create a more accurate simulation. And also what we can do here in XpInfectionFX XpSeat object, you see that we have it here only at the center. You can move it to other places or just create and make a copy of it and move it, for example, to the right side, and alt direct by the number of the seat that here you can create and the position of them. And you can see with just having two seats of XpInfection, the clothes is reaction differently to the sound. Let's say we are happy with this and we cannot watch it on our timeline real time, so we need to cache it. Just here in Insidium XParticle we will add XpCache. Just select the folder on your computer, and after selecting your folder just build the cache. Here is another example that I have created just using the same technique. Here we have our clothes, which was created simply with the sweep object here and with the help of the circle and also cycloid 2D shape. Here you can find circle and cycloid. And if you can see, if I deactivate it, our 3D model is gone. Just add circle and cycloid and it's easily created. And you can easily manipulate and alt direct and create your shape here just playing with these parameters. Just added the XParticle dynamic tag here, distribution, vert and mid, and also rigidity 0.1%. And constraint also is activated. And you can see here we have two collider. One is round collider, just activated. You can see this is holding the object. And another one is the mid that is holding the center of the model. And now in modifier just added simply push apart. And the sound displacement, use sample. I have used absolute values instead of as sample. For this sound effect work, absolute value is better. You can also experiment with these two and see which one is working with your sound. Scale down 350 and sensitivity 1.5. Also here XpInfection added, and also in general search radius 50, maximum infected 25, and in action just sound displacement modifier action here is added. Now I can add subdivision surface and also close the surface. Now I can make just a preview. Feel free to experiment this technique with the different 3D models and see what you can get out of it.